It's no toffees sort of throw to us, is it, Rich?
Not quite.
And it doesn't have the same ring to it. It really makes it quite grand, doesn't it?
Sometimes a bit too much. I feel like I've been put on a pedestal once. You know, once it's like, yeah, I don't know how.
But it's nice once in a while to feel appreciated.
Oh, it is definitely.
Yeah.
Go downstairs and actually shouted at.
Is James downstairs too, or?
No. Although
right, let's get to the game.
People probably did think we were brothers, you know.
Very ginger, very northern.
Very
Makes sense. North to south, I mean, most people should be pretty happy with this drop. I'm looking to see if there's anything different. K-Mine's heading a little further towards the east, but maybe just for vehicle. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do see TSM back kind of close towards San Martin, maybe just because there's not that many people around. They do have a bit of a split towards Hacienda, where Unity aren't too far away from, but a northern circle. Lovely. Where was that from? Because I actually don't see when we're on the map, so it could have been a pretty decent shot there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're on
pretty decent.
Yeah,
a fair whack of distance. And this could be another compound crash coming in potentially. Now, I want to see if after all stick this out. They could peel away. They could back to the next compound. If they're staying split up, this could be an issue. But with Tixu being lost, Ents now have pressure on them to make the move to try and recover their fallen teammate.
After yesterday, Goose is now my favourite player. Runs two of his... Oh, Curse of the Caster, he's down. I was hoping to see another miraculous play. After running two teammates over yesterday, he just went on a tear in the 4 versus 1 and raise your edge. But unfortunately, this time, it doesn't happen. There will be no flush onto Tixu, so he can at least stay alive. BSD, however, has been flushed, and that's by T-Bone over on the side of Omakan. Shots coming his way from the Tab and Code. Now V have an eye line onto this. Vascu has unfortunately fallen down the hill. I'm guessing maybe Tab damaged him up and they dropped off. Michael turns and faces, think, you know what, time to run away from this because they've spotted players. And it's in the form of brute force. This is outside of the zone. And we spoke about Redline, been a little bit slower. A very late game. It seems to be continuing here into game number 2 and even day 2, to be honest with you, them playing. It was the same yesterday. K-Mind, back of the camp. They're just changing seats, making sure they've got the information what's going on here. But I think the saving grace for Besiktas, I know it's liquid at the doors. There's going to be damage from the back lines. Northern Lights have into this when they've already done some damage, and even more than that, they've knocked Mxey. Wome will at least stem them for now. Does the same effect and forces Besiktas inside. Is Mxey in a reasonable position? The fight will continue through. CTR looking outside. Doesn't take advantage of the whole scenario. Could have got that knock if he'd been a little bit quicker, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. James through the window. Will stand his ground and will pre-fire. Sees him from the opposing window. That's 2. That's a good set of knocks. Now they can forcefully make a stance inside that building. They could see some more knocks coming through. We will try and see if there is any defense from upstairs. Meant to be just holding for now. There's no point in going running up those stairs. Get Mxey back on his feet. Get to a full 4-man. Get your heels off. Besiktas committing all the utility. Smokes are down. He's wandering. He's going for this.
I mean, they won't expect that, right? Like, that's a pretty cool plan. I mean, it's a little risky, sure, but you got to take some risks here. You're in a 1v4. Now, the game plan for Liquid, if I'm in their minds, is how can we clear this out without potentially losing a player? You have to be so quick on effective trading so you don't allow the flush to come in, because now, in their heads, he's upstairs. But one of them's got to be considering, what if? Now, that's given away the game. Mexy's located him, the radar, the alarm bells ring. Metabee still slips back upstairs. How is he able to do this? Liquid now pouring up the stairs. They're going to try and chase him down. Metabee can't make it out the window. If he finds him, he tries to make a daring leap. For Besiktas, it's another unfortunate matter of affairs for them. They're not quite having the clean games we would have wanted. And we're heading towards water treatment. The circle, it's not exactly water treatment. Ents are kind of in the middle. TSM has taken over the western compound over the road from water treatment. They're in a very, very strong position in that regard. But the west, Richard, it's going to be busy. You've got the Wildcats, bit of Na'Vi, Omakan, some big teams out there. And Northern Lights and Liquid are getting quite close by. Now, I saw James heading further south, maybe looking for a new way forward or, you know, some information potentially.
It will be Page avoiding Wibbly Wobbly. Yeah, okay. Let him get away with the life. I'm all right for it with Ibis. He doesn't want to die again in open war. I think he was the first player down on the previous side. However, Liquid have unfortunately made the approach finally to Tempest. I was saying about Jeans before, the idea wasn't so bad. He was realizing trying to find information of where they could go next, especially for this circle, rather than running blindly into that building and dying.
Kill still
However,
no.
they're still dying anyway, unfortunately, which is rather unfortunate.
I guess the phrase better the devil you know comes to mind. Oh my, what? T-Bone, I'd be so mad if I was you after losing that. Kill still literally looked over the ridge, saw T-Bone, and then just backed. So clearly just, you know, eyes elsewhere or what have you. But yeah, for now, this is going to be Omicron trying to make their presence noted. Trying to find their way forward in the northeast, trying to take over a very heavy spot. You know, TQ's position is very, very strong, and it's going to be a heavily sought after one, and they want to defend that, of course. Now, Kill still being knocked and a bit isolated means they might be down to 3 here. I don't know if the Redzy can get him back, and obviously Braba here now needs to focus on trying to control this, and help from Redline. Redline decided their sweep from further north than Omicron. So TQ have to know, okay, someone's further north of this. They just found the team we were fighting. Right, let's be careful now. Northern Lights managed to send it right next to TSM on the eastern side of the road there. Pretty strong compound. And yeah, Liquid, I've got to feel bad. I mean, as said, better the devil you know. You go for the fight where you know these players are. You know that there's maybe a position you could follow in from. Then maybe not knowing where Northern Lights went. They could have been waiting, but a bit of a misread, it happens. A little unfortunate. I'd have liked to see Liquid do better out of that. Now you've got Mxey, the one-man hero, the one-man army. Somebody trying to make a good last stand for Omicron. Maybe get a flush if he could. Not going to happen. Ibis puts him down. And that's a big gun to be tussling with.
Cheeky reply, but I'm assuming the level 3s helped him out in that scenario. Been able to turn around with a Mark 14 as well. It's a GG. So they go crashing out, but I suppose it's to be said for how much information we saw earlier on with Ibis laying down. Redline have been able to track him. On the pull-up we go. Navi is quite literally at the walls, out of the car and around the corner. Knocks him down, knocks him out. The deep will fall. Senya. Pixel also in the kill feed, going down to Danimon, so still out in open waters for Tempest, unfortunately. A few of them have fallen, thus in the last 2 rotations. Smokes will go down for Redline. They have made it inside the circle. Ivor still holding the backlines in the off angle. Now they have to go up against Ents, though. Like, you've got Unity towards the east on water treatment. This is a very, very nasty circle.
Ooh. Lucky to be alive. Mabiko desperate to make it into the tiny bit of cover, and yeah, well, they've actually found a bit of room. As a very risky send, and I mean, it's worked out for them. TSM getting some pressure as well. Oh no, Vod, what happened? I guess he had a nade when he got knocked, and then the nade went off. Very unfortunate, and again, a little bit tricky there for Tixu getting caught up on the door frame. I thought it was the other way around. Excuse me, it's Redline who's going to crash towards Ent, and Ent aren't holding this. Every corner is being worked out. Diggory here on the back lines with Squeaky still standing, but by now already Marv's taken down the Tixu. It's not looking so hot. Ivus there, playing it well, but can't hold back too much. TQ have swung across as well. He was holding the other side of the road. So Redline trying to keep control of a great deal on this map, which is very hard to do at these sort of stages. People are desperate for anything they can get. You're going to see the final members of Ents falling away from that previous compound, trying to keep QBE humble, and they've done just that. Redline goes down, taking many fights on many fronts, and sadly couldn't contain them all. Diggory, that car's just not going to work out for you. Time to just get running, do what you can. Maybe go for that little buggy there he created for the Wildcats over in the eastern side amongst all the other players. Only one alive for the Wildcats now. Tries to fall back, get a bit of cover, maybe get off a heel.
There's not a lot these teams can do, given Blaze's position. They're on the 2-2 towards the northern side of the current circle. They can hold a lot of people. They can basically just bounce her and keep them away from this edge. Yes, granted, you might see Ents make it into the white by hook or by crook. That is disgusting. Squeaky actually just opts to bolt it out of the vehicle and get the knock and the flush instantly. I'm sorry, Red Zone, unless that was someone on the floor, that shouldn't have happened whatsoever. Meisters and Atomical can pull up and go a little bit further forward. But really, what can they do? It's such an open embankment. Blaze have them dead to rights. If they don't, Ira most certainly will. Resolution she created also on the opposing side do need to come down from the danger zone of the blue. Make it into the white. She created will not be. They're done. They're out in 13th position. Bucky gets dinked through the smoke, rather unfortunately. Unity have a bit of a height advantage on him, which provides them small amount of vision above the smoke. Meisters down to the blue. Finish confirmed. Quantum, 12th position for them, and we'll see N starting to make the run. This circle has been brutal for a lot of teams. Ira does find Lipson inside one of the buildings. That at least will force Apocalypse, in theory, Lauren, onto the res, which could defend this last man on Ents, but Atomical's there.
Na'Vi trying to make their approach, but they are on a very tricky side, a very open hillside to make any sort of run from, and I think they're feeling that pressure. They might have to full send pretty soon, or is there a bit of cover they can cover to? No, it is full send time, and in a buggy of all things. Never pleasant. Batulans watching out, trying to see if they can catch Na'Vi heading in. But the molly, where did that just come from? Was that TSM molly? I think it was. It forced them into the eyes of Northern Lights, and that is a quick pick up on the double.
No, not like this. The vehicle goes up, and they at least take the points away from them. Denies it to TSM, but TSM just removes them as a team from pasteurizing on the side of them. Upside, Senya also falling, so now V goes down in 8th position. Clip's still alive, God knows how, but it's only just. I think this could be the last stand for him. Yep, away we go. Thank you very much. Northern Lights still seeing and still killing, and that all provided from this very central, very crappy shack, to be honest with you. I'm surprised they've done so much. Mxey? That's 2.
Mxey?
Double A's having him there, and he's on his own. What the hell is going on here?
Oh, Fex, don't ruin it. Let him play. Let the man play. It is Mxey all day long. This guy is so good on his own sometimes. I swear to God, he just, like, comes into his own when he's just a solo player. Now, is it Dream for You he's up against? I think it is. Now, the molly was pretty good before. Dream for You's heard some of these steps. Free fire on the corner. Oh, Mxey, you absolute god!
No.
Oh, buddy, that was beautiful to witness. That's the power of the one-man player. And that's why we always, when we look at Liquid, we hold them to high standards. Some of those players are so damn talented. Now, Blaze is under fire. They were the ones with 4 alive. They're now just down to 2. And they're being knocked and flushed down to 1. Laz is gone. Unity flexing in the eastern side of this road that splits these final circles.
It was a little bit of a meme for a while where it'd always be Samty just down begging for mercy somewhere in the middle of nowhere playing for placement. Like, that is still a bit of a thing with Liquid where they do lose players tendency early, and then you just have to see Mxey go off on his own. He's taken the crown away from Samty now, and so yeah, there is something to be said for Liquid losing players early game. I think it's not even early game, it's kind of early to mid game. But if they get a few more through, it is scary to think what they could accomplish and put together. I'm yet to see that all 3-4 players towards the final circle just going guns blazing. We saw it towards DreamHack. That's it.
No!
Oh, Set ruins it. He ruins the fun. It'll be scary as hell. Is the go time? It has to be, right? Surely. Oh, they see. No, they're throwing long ball mollies. There it is.
Beautiful.
Finally, his position. It comes true, and now the rest of them can make their way across. The smoke wall is completely up. It denies any kind of vision. Finally, the Northern Lights, you talked about that scrappy play. They show their hand. They get involved in this one. It draws the attention of TSM for all but a moment. Fex has been damaged by that. But honestly, they've got time. And more importantly now, Lauren, they have the numbers.
Now, so here's the game plan. You need to keep Miraku focusing towards Spyro and Batulans, force the fight towards Orange and Danimon. Oh, nice work from Orange. Just sprays that big gun.
Oh my
Iron
God.
Fex suffer off the back of the MK14. Unfortunate. The theory so right, but the brute force from Unity just that bit stronger. And now the problem becomes that Miraku can't keep watching Northern Lights. They've now been let loose. Batulans and Spyro on the battlefield. I don't like that one. Now, body blocking galore. Iron Fex trying to keep Miraku safe from Orange and Danimon, and Northern Lights staying low to the ground, staying quiet, staying cautious, hoping the fight happens elsewhere and they can slot into second. But does Danimon let that happen? Orange peeks the ridge. Here we go. That's so deadly. The gun's nuts. The MK14 just full auto, full in your face, just absolute filth. And now down to 2 teams. Batulans with Spyro facing up against Unity. Orange is down. It's on Danimon, Rich.
I don't know if there's much you can do on this one. Been so heavily damaged up from variations. All of a sudden, the Northern Lights, they hold their ground inside the shack for a hell of a long time. They just booked it to there on the back of the bike and have sat there for the entirety of the latter stages of that entire server.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9 and this line is never on vacation. Start up that Maserati and